What's going on? It's Screechy, and we are once again here on a Saturday doing a deck profile, re-uploading this video, hopefully this time with the correct audio, because, people's audios like corrupting good old computer problems. We played on the, well, I say weekend, it's now weekend, we played on Thursday, infinitrack Earth Machines. It's a deck that's getting a lot of popularity right now. Let's throw the extra deck on the screen as well, shall we? So yeah, I've been playing this deck for a while online on like Dueling Book and Nexus. It's become probably one of, if not my favourite deck right now. So I finally had it built and decided to play it at locals this week. I went 2-1, which was technically joint first. First place was 2-0. He had a bye round 1. So we technically got joint first again this week. The person we lost to also went 2-1, and then obviously someone had the bye and went 2-0 and technically won. So with that in mind, we're getting to the deck profile. The infinitrack core is going to be really cheap, and pretty much the whole deck, bar like the expensive staples, is pretty cheap. And the deck has absolutely insane recyclability and absolutely insane, probably the best grind game I've ever seen in a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and the ability to do a draw two combo with infinite resource loop like every turn. So that's the main combo of the deck, which we will explain that at the end of the video. The combo requires one of 12 starters, and Harvester is one of the starters. The deck is Earth Machines, otherwise known as Dozer control, so you're going to play 3 Dozers as well. You can tribute any Earth Machine to special summon this card. It summons like a Kaiju. It's not an effect. It's a summoning condition, so it plays around stuff like Skill Drain, which I did have to play around today. And when it's summoned, you can spec an infinitrack monster from your deck. Its effects are negated, but usually you tend to summon the Trencher, which doesn't have an on-field effect. If it does, I don't know what it is, and it's pretty irrelevant. Its graveyard effect is you can banish it and target a level 5 or lower infinitrack monster, special summon it back. So unfortunately, it can't summon back the XYZs or the Links, but they have their own effects to come back anyway. And then after that, we're also playing one Tunneler and one Anchor Drill. Anchor Drill is just a utility card, and it's one of the best going third cards, or turn 3 cards in the game. And Tunneler is a part of your draw 2 combo. This is your Pot of Avarice that you use. There are also different names, which helps a lot with searching. On the side of that, you're also going to play a small Machina engine. Machina Metal Cruncher is also a 1-card starter. Fortress is a phenomenal card that can constantly come back from the grave every turn, and Citadel is your big boss monster. Gives you a Regeki every turn when an Earth Machine is destroyed, and everything in the deck is Earth Machine. Even everything in the extra deck is either Machine or Earth Machine as well. Again, these are all pretty cheap. Metal Crunchers are about 10. Everything else is probably less than £1. So, it's a really cheap deck, but the clock is going on Metal Cruncher. It probably will be in the Mega Packs. So, if you're picking up this deck, you could potentially wait if you really want to build this on a budget. Next, we are playing a small train engine, double Derrick Crane, one Bullet Train. These have both been reprinted very recently. LED 4 was what Legendary Duelist 4 came out like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Derrick Crane's had several prints as well. I think common and super, so it's really, really cheap as well. These just help you make rank 10 plays and help you facilitate OTKs, but more importantly, they are chain blockers. Derrick Crane allows your combos to go through without any interruptions from Ash, because you can chain block on the normal summon of a Metal Cruncher or a Harvester. You can chain block the Derrick Crane to stop it from being negated. And you also need at least one of these to do the draw 2 combo. This sets up the infinite resource loop every turn, so it's probably best that you play this as well. You can get away with only playing one Derrick Crane, but I do like 2. It is pretty good to have. The last monster we're playing that's not a hand trap is actually an Ancient Gearbox. It's a part of the draw 2 combo. It's technically a Garnet, but you can actually put this back in the combo, so it's not a problem if you do draw this. And the very, very last monster we are actually playing is 3 copies of Bash Blossom. It's the best hand trap in the format, and you can pick these up for around about £8 each now. You probably pick a play set up for around 20-25. Obviously not the secret Maximum Crisis ones. It's the best hand trap in the format. It stops every deck, both meta and rogue, at some point or another. Now moving on to some more play starters. 3 redeployment, which searches your Metal Cruncher. It also searches any Machina. This is technically a 1.5 card combo because you need a discard. But the good thing with this is it also gets you either a Citadel in hand, which is a free dump. You can use as a free discard to help him get in the grave, or you can use Fortress. The card is phenomenal. It's probably the best starter in the deck because the fact it gets you a plus. It doesn't get you a +1 because you discard, but it feels like a +1, especially because a lot of stuff activates in the grave. And again, really cheap. Heavy forwards, they are coming in around 10 each right now. Another Eternity Code Ultra that is slowly rising in price. But again, also on the clock for the Mega Pack reprints. This has a cool effect where it can attach itself to a Machine XYZ as material. Helps you facilitate extra materials on Zeus, but more importantly, when it's activated, you add an infinitrack to your hand. And it's a continuous spell, which does come up for the next card, which is 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Your heavy forward does just kind of sit there. You can also chain this onto stuff like traps and other things like that. You know, it's the best going second card in the game. You are a going first deck, by the way, but it is the best going second card in the game. You're not going to win every dice roll, and the fact that most of your combos rely off one card means you can easily just negate a whole board and still do the combo. Next, we're opting to play 2 copies of Urgent Schedule. This was just another card to help go second and OTK, and we opted to also play 1 copy of Reasoning as a spicy tech. We are running just about every level in the goddamn game in this deck. Let's just have a little check. So we've got 3, 4, 10, 9, 7, 5. So we have a lot of levels. So we opted to run the Reasoning. I absolutely love this card. It is pretty gimmicky, but it has a lot of fun uses, especially in this deck. You can just hit an extender and go off from there. Most of your stuff actually will trigger on Special Summon. Stuff like Harvester will trigger off of the Reasoning as well. An Urgent Schedule helps you go second, helps you if you get Nibiru, Gammered, anything like that. Anything that helps them put monsters on board means you can then resolve an Urgent Schedule on your own turn. Or you can just set it and resolve it on their end phase as well and get 2 boys on the board. Moving on to the traps, we opted to run 3 Overdrive, 3 Torrential Tributes. The aim of the game is Regekis. That's pretty much all we're doing here, is just constant board wipes. Usually if you can set up something like Citadel Overdrive, Torrential Zeus, which, you know, sounds a lot, but it is easily doable. That's like 4 Regekis on your opponent's turn. You don't then have to worry about Regekiing at the right time, whereas if you only had like a Citadel, you have to make sure you get the timing right. When you end up with a board like this, it is pretty hard to break, not to mention that this deck, in my opinion, is one of them decks where it makes a really, really mediocre board turn 1, but then that mediocre board gets just that little bit better turn 2, and then even better turn 3, even better turn 4, and because of the infinite resource loop with the Tunneler and the Overdrive, you actually never run out of resources. So just picture it like I don't know, picture it like a Jenga board or something where, you know, that's probably a really bad thing. Just picture like this is your end board, okay? And then all of a sudden turn 2, you know, this is now your end board, and then all of a sudden this is your end board, and this, and then this, and before you know it, you've got more than enough damage, and you've won anyway. So we'll move on quickly to the extra deck. Triple copies of Infinitrack Goliath. You have to play this. It's your extra name. It helps the draw 2 combo. You only need any Infinitrack to make this. So the idea is basically you summon any Infinitrack, make this, summon another Infinitrack, make another one of this, summon another Infinitrack, make another one of this. This also has a cool effect where if it is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an XYZ material you control and attach this card to it as a material, which this triggers anyway. You can attach this to stuff like Zeus to get extra stuff, but more importantly, when you're doing your draw 2 combo, if you get Nibiru'd on your 5th summon, you can still do the full combo, and if you don't Nibiru on your 5th summon, you're just pretty much going to resolve the draw 2 combo. So the combo's not Nibiru proof, but it's just a waste of a card for your opponent, basically. I'll show you kind of how the Nibiru combo works after this. Double-headed Anger Knuckle, it's kind of your end board card. He revives a level 10 every turn, and also revives himself pretty much every turn. Cleefort Genius. I opted this just because I was playing some of the continuous spells. Target a card you control and a card your opponent controls, and both of them are negated. You can negate something like your heavy forward to negate anything on their side of the board. It never come up, and I probably would cut this. And then 1 Ballista, which is also a part of the draw 2 combo, which searches your box and starts your infinite resource loop. Next, we played a bunch of XYZs. We opted to play Gear Giant X. This was a part of a kind of coolish combo that searches Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, which we opted to side. We never came up, but I have done it in testing before. Don't know if I would stick by it. I probably would end up cutting it, but it is a cool thing, and it's something to definitely bear in mind, especially going into the next format where Dryatron's looking likely to be one of the best decks again. one River Stormer, and we're also playing one Earth Slicer. These are the only two infinitrack XYZs. You only need one of these because they come back from the grave whenever you feel like it. You just have to tribute an Earth Machine monster, a Machine Link monster to special summon them back. So it's pretty good. And if you tribute the Goliath, you can attach that Goliath as material, which is kind of how the Nibiru combo works. We'll show it you after. Next, moving on after that, we are also running Dingirsu. He's another machine. He's not Earth, unfortunately, so you can't make him every single turn if you do the combo. But he does also send stuff to the grave, which is pretty good. One into Blathnir. We can't play VFD anymore, and it's also a machine, so, you know, it's pretty good. And then after that, we're playing a small train engine of one Super Dora, one Gustav Max, and one Juggernaut Libre. This helps over facilitate OTKs, and I did this pretty much every game on the Thursday when we played. And if I didn't, and I did this and it didn't OTK, and we always had the Zeus to slap on top as well. We'll quickly run over the side deck. I do think this side deck, well, any side deck, is not only format dependent, but it's also your local dependent. And I do feel that this side deck for me today wasn't very good, but it is a good side deck going into generic tournaments. Triple copies of Droll, triple copies of Lancia, triple copies of Gozen Match, who are all pretty much Earth, and triple copies of Nibiru, 2 Cosmic Cyclones, and like I said, the 1 Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Well, that was the deck profile. We'll quickly explain the Draw 2 combo. All you need for this is Harvester, like I said, or you can also do this with Metal Cruncher, Machine of Redeployment, or Heavy Forward, because they do search their corresponding cards. So we'll start with the Harvester. On the normal summoning of Harvester, you are going to get to search for an infinitrack. The one you're searching is Brutal Dozer. You're going to use this Harvester right now in order to link summon into a infinitrack Goliath, and then tribute off the infinitrack Goliath to special summon the Brutal Dozer. Brutal Dozer effect will activate, allowing you to spec a infinitrack directly from the deck. You're going to go for the infinitrack Trencher, and then overlay these for River Stormer. Now this is technically now your 5th summon. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 5th summon. So your opponent now can Nibiru you, and if your opponent Nibirus you, all you have to do here is, when these are all sent to the graveyard, is revive something back off Trencher, make a Goliath off that thing, and then use the River Stormer in grave, tribute that Goliath. We'll explain it. So they're all gone. Tribute, banish to special summon anything, so we'll go for the Brutal Dozer. You're going to end up making another Goliath with this Brutal Dozer. And then the effect of River Stormer in grave will tribute this Goliath to summon itself back. And then Goliath triggers because you have sent it to the grave and attaches it back as material. So you can still then do the search and continue the combo that way. But we're going to pretend that we haven't been Nibiru'd here and carry on the combo anyway. So River Stormer effect will allow us to get a search. What we're going to search for here is any of our trains. We're going to actually go for, not Dairy Crane, we'll set up the infinite resource loop here. So we'll go for Bullet Train. You can then tribute this off, or link this off, should I say, for infinitrack Goliath. Special summon the Bullet Train because you control nothing but Earth machines. And we're going to get rid of both of these now in order to make Ancient Gear Ballista. Ballista effect will activate, allowing you to search any Ancient Gear to your hand. We do only play Box, so we'll play Box. And then when Box has been added, you can add anything with 500, either attack or defense. So we'll go for Tunneler. Contribute this Ballista for Tunneler. And then tribute this Tunneler for a 3rd copy of infinitrack Goliath. Then, like I said, if you've not been Nibiru'd here, the best thing you can do would be Trencher back anything, so we'll go for the Tunneler again. And then this here is actually a Link 2 of your choice. You are locked into Earth machines at this point, so the best thing you could probably make is double-headed Anger Knuckle. We're just going to take a quick look, real quick, at our graveyard. What we should have in the graveyard right now is Tunneler, which will banish to activate its effects, to shuffle back 5 cards, and you should have 4 links and a play starter, which will then let you draw 2 cards. So that's the basic draw 2 combo. On top of that, you also are going to have a discard in the Ancient Gear box to revive a level 10 back, which will be this bullet train. And then on the end phase of your opponent's next turn, if the bullet train does miraculously get destroyed, it does only have 0 defense, you can then use its effect to add anything Earth Machine from your grave back to your hand. You can add Box, which will trigger again, allowing you to search for something else with 500 attack or defense, which searches for infinitrack anchor drill. This then sets up any plays going into the next turn. For instance, anchor drill, summon box, or any other play starters or extenders you have from here. This alone is a rank 8. Of course, you might have Citadel, which means you can then discard revive this again, which would be a rank 10. You know, the world is your oyster, and realistically, what you have to do is just play the deck and test the deck to see what it is capable of. It's not one of those decks that just, this is the combo and you should copy it and try and extend on it as much as you can. It has so many different lines of play. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have, you should leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This has been infinitrack Earth Machines First Places with Screeching. Like I said, if you have enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We do upload deck profiles every Saturday. It's been your boy Screech, guys. Peace.